Win faster, play faster. We'll see how things go down in the feature match area. Let's get down there right now and get underway with our next round here at Standard. We're at GP Birmingham. Let's get to it. What's up, nerds? Welcome along to coverage of GP Birmingham. Leo Lahonen against Martin User. Martin User at 12-1. This match effectively a win and in for the Czech superstar. The Hall of Famer here is more or less locked for top 8 with a victory here, Raf. His opponent, however, Leo Lahonen, we saw him pick up that very draw in the feature match area previously. He did not play fast enough in order to get across the line. We'll see if things change here in this game, where Martin User are certainly going to force the issue with a very quick deck indeed.
Martin confessed that it was the best day of the tournament. He told me, dude, my deck's so good, I'm going to win this tournament.
Did he say that?
He had a flight scheduled at 5 p.m. said, no, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to make it up. I'm going to win this tournament. Okay, let's see if he get through this round.
Well, I would take the word of Martin User very seriously in a situation like this. This guy, a true ambassador of the game, he's got 28 GP top 8s, and it could be a 29th with a single win here. But Leo Lahonen's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to contest one of the best players in the world here. Search for Azcanta, a nice start for him here. And Lahonen's deck has really impressed me so far. And we're going to see an Essence Scatter get rid of this Pia Nalar. And we do apologize for the intermittent light issues we're having here. The ceiling here in the tournament center is very open to the heavens, like Hogwarts here, to be honest.
Heavens beaming.
Yeah.
The feature match area.
Got those God rays coming through, and it's been an unexpectedly bright day here in England. And as a result, we've had to contest with the fiery sky orb. I guess it's not fire, is it? It's plasma, so should really get my ducks in a row there. Speaking of fire, though, here's a rekindling Phoenix. It's a hard threat to answer here, and Lahonen's going to have to be pretty careful about how he manages this.
He has a lot of ways to deal with it. If the Phoenix crews the Heart of Kiran, Leo has a bunch of enchantment. He has Steal Away, he has Cast Away. To deal with the Phoenix, they would never come back because Black-Red does not exactly have a lot of ways to deal with Seal Away.
So it is going to be Seal Away here. It's going to take care of that Phoenix. And once again, a more or less permanent answer to it because the user's deck isn't replete with ways to remove enchantments.
Yeah, Rekindling Phoenix is not exactly the best card against blue-white control.
I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently here as Teferi comes down and does exactly what you want to do, stabilize the board very, very effectively, removes that Heart of Kiran.
The Goblin Chinook Whirler would be pretty good here.
Yes, would be a really nice one. And User looks like he's got it as well. So Lahonen punished there. But still a nice little play for him, removing the very real threat of the Heart of Kiran. But
still 1 for 1.
Yeah, that one turn there was very, very good for Martin User. He jumped at the chance to you know, strike while the iron is hot. Throw those chains around, whirl those chains around. Unsurprised to see a fair few nicks and scratches on that Goblin Chain Whirler himself. Look at that. I think he's got a blood nose as well. I think he's bonked himself in the face with one of his chains there. Here's another Teferi. You're just going to draw a card this time. So untap 2 lands.
Well, I believe Black-Red is very good against creature decks. I think it's a little lacking its white-blue control.
I guess what are the ways that the vehicles lists have to come back against a Fumigate? Obviously, Heart of Kiran, fantastic against sweepers, but, you know, now this is just a 3/3.
Yep.
The first strike doesn't matter. The extra damage doesn't matter.
It did matter in the previous turn.
Sure, but right now, all it is is a 3/3, right?
Yeah,
like, it's not holding down the board. It's not contesting creatures particularly effectively.
3 for 3. What's
Centaur Corsair?
Yeah, Centaur Corsair. Yeah, that's right. And Martin, to adapt to this meta game where he thought there would be a lot of Goblin Chinook Whirler and a lot of tokens, he removed all the X1s from his deck.
Oh, so no...
So no Bomat Courier.
Yeah, right.
And which is a good card in this matchup, but...
Of course.
But he does not have any.
So Lahonen now, a Seal Away during his main phase in order to make the most of that Teferi activation.
And no Karn either. So he replaced Karn by Phoenixes. And cards that are not as good against blue-white.
And the Phoenixes just aren't as good here. There are so many answers to them from Leo Lahonen. I mean, the Death Trigger is obviously what you want to make the most of here with the Phoenix, but there are just so few ways for white-blue to actually put one in the bin. I mean, an Essence Scatter, sure, but that doesn't solve the problem here.
Fumigate is the only way.
That's it.
Fumigate a Phoenix, it's not happening.
You just don't cast it. You just use your cast out or what have you. And I like Lahonen's list. Not in love with the way he's played it. I mean, that's not a very nice thing to say, and I'm sorry, but...
so mean, this guy.
So nasty. But the list has been fantastic. Look, that's unfair. That's unfair. Lahonen is obviously at 11-1-1. He knows what he's doing. He's made an unfortunate couple of errors on camera, but hey.
I mean, I think his deck is well positioned. I mean, there are a lot of black-red decks in this tournament.
I don't think I should be throwing any shade at anyone about making mistakes on camera as well. I feel like that is not something I should be trying to do.
Oh, and now that's a very nice combo too. The second Ruin with Teferi.
Oh yeah,
could activate it twice.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
It's pretty good.
Untap and counter. Get that second card. Lahonen may be looking to do exactly that here, as we see Commit to Memory flipped off the Azcanta there. And this draw engine just, it just won't stop. It's been fantastic in Modern. Things are playing Legacy.
Yeah. So here's the thing now. Leo Lahonen is taking a pretty big advantage this game, to a point where I don't think Martin can actually win this game. This is drawing 2 cards a turn, actually drawing 3 cards a turn, and it could even be drawing 4 cards a turn. One from his draw step, one from Teferi, one from Azcanta, and another one from Azcanta on the next turn. So
tapping it, yeah.
It could be 4 cards a turn. I don't think Martin has any chance to win this game.
He needs pressure, and he needs that pressure to stick, and to stick around, and to continue to smash, and it just hasn't happened.
That's never going to happen here. So the question is, what is Martin going to do? Because that's the real thing of this game now. Is he going to concede now? Does he need more information? Does he know Leo's deck? What is he fishing here? What does he want to do? What does he want to achieve?
So user now with the Walking Ballista. Lahonen just revealed an Essence Scatter. And this Teferi is sitting pretty here. Continuing to draw Lahonen more cards.
How much more information does he need to concede? That's the real question.
Never concede, mate. Never give up, never concede.
If you want... the other thing is, he's 12-1. So a draw would still be... He would still be a winner in the next round.
Certainly something for him to consider there, as we see now a blink of an eye join the hand of Leo Lahonen. Going to untap 2 lands here with Teferi. Don't forget that trigger.
So that's
back to user now.
Yeah, it's a very good synergy. And so many cards. Disintegration not very good against Leo's deck. And look at this. 4 mana, draw a card. Repulse. Good old Repulse.
Bounce draw. Cryptic Command on emergency mode. I guess that's tap draw. And another search for Azcanta here. Mate, draw 5 cards a turn.
6, because it's 2.
Oh, yeah, of course.
No, that would not work since... would that work? No. Azcanta is a legendary, right?
Both of them are legendary. Legendary on both sides.
Yeah. The Treasure Cove.
Treasure Cove.
Is not legendary.
It's not legendary, yeah. You can draw extra cards off that if you've got the treasure. And now the hero, untapping a couple more cards here.
There's only 1 Azcanta. Might be more treasure.
And then once you found... There's only 1 search needed as well. Here's a
well, he already found it. I think it's a flavor fail here.
Yeah, he's sending out another expedition for us. Like, buddy, we know exactly where it is. We've been drawing cards of it for donkey's years.
We got it on the on the map.
Got it on the map, man.
On the GPS, we can.
Yeah, we can just put it into Google Maps and we'll be there in half an hour. You don't need to send another search party. It's fine. And a cast out on the Rekindling Phoenix here. Lahonen just needing a way to end this match, and this is where we need a win condition.
Yeah, that's that. Martin's just waiting for the win con, but this...
The thing is, even now... Okay, the percentage chance for user to win this game is minuscule. It's
no,
infinitesimal.
it's 0.
Is it actual 0?
It's 0.
Obviously, okay. In real terms, it is, but like it can't actually ever be.
Yeah,
actual
sure.
0,
If something falls from the sky and
sure.
destroys the table,
However,
but that's it's very close to 0.
Lahonen has to actually win the game. If Yuza's just going to sit there and be like, yeah, sure, ultimate you Teferi. I'll sit here and wait until you've actually got a way to win the game. He's going to have to cycle through his deck, get Gideon, attack with it 5 times.
One of the things I don't understand with Leo's play here
Yeah.
is that he doesn't wait a turn to have Teferi on 9 just to keep his Teferi in play.
He's probably got a second Teferi. Just
But he doesn't have it now. Like that would just save a little time.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't really matter. Still, he would still save some time.
So pull from tomorrow here for Leo Lahonen.
Yeah, and Martin is kind of locked here.
He's going to sit there and wait. We saw Pull exile all of his permanents here. User is under the yoke of the Teferi emblem.
The yolk.
The yoke.
Oh, yeah.
Not the yolk. Not the middle of an egg.
Yeah, that's
the thing that you put on the back of an ox.
Okay, I
The
didn't know
yoke.
that. I didn't know that.
Y-O-K-E.
Y-O-K-A.
Yeah, Y-O-K-E.
K-E.
Yeah, a yoke.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
that
you've seen it on yoked oxen. The 0-4?
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
No, you'll see. Have a look. Have a look at yoked oxen and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I didn't know what that meant. But okay, I get it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est le yoke en français?
La selle.
La selle.
But for, I don't know.
There, that thing.
Oh, not the selle. Not at all.
Yeah, the thing that goes around its neck. It helps it pull like a cart or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's not the selle.
So Lahonen now, looking for a pretty flawless victory. No permanents on the battlefield here. And User is just waiting.
It's just 5 more minutes.
He's just waiting. And this is the thing here. Lahonen is not going to be able to close out the game quickly. He is essentially playing a game of solitaire.
So, yeah.
Martin User, in the meantime, he can get out his phone, play a game of Minesweeper if he wants.
I think I understand Martin's plan here. He's not wasting the time. He's just waiting for Leo to actually win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if a game 3 happens, Leo will have to do the same thing again. So he's not actually playing the clock on this game. He might just be getting a little time for game 3. So if he's actually locked in game 3, he would actually play for the draw and not to lose. It takes a lot of time for Leo to win.
It really does.
But once,
This was it's Rem, and here is Leo Lahonen again doing this weird thing where he tucks away his Teferi immediately. Wah, Raf.
Wow.
Wah. In all seriousness, why does he immediately tuck away his Teferi?
I don't know. It's just to show, like, are you sure you?
And he casts a seal away rather than just discard it to hand size.
Yes, I don't know. At this point, whatever he does is pretty much irrelevant.
But surely you put the seal away back in your deck, so you've got a bigger deck or you discard it, and then so you can put it back in your deck when you.
But doesn't matter.
Give into memory.
What does that matter?
Gives an extra card in his library.
Why? He doesn't need an extra card in his library.
I guess he doesn't. I guess he wants his deck as thin as possible. Okay, here's the Gideon of the Trials. 5-turn clock now for Martin User, who has no permanents in play.
He could also say, "I'm not dying until you kill my Gideon."
Attack with a Gideon. Teferi goes back into the library for some arcane purpose, which we don't fully understand.
He just wants an extra card in his deck.
In that case, why not put the seal away into the bin? It just means he's drawing a Teferi every 3rd turn. Don't you want a freshie? Don't you want a hot freshie off the top of your deck?
All right, that's like at this point, really, there was no coming back from Martin.
Yeah, just at this point.
No,
just at this point here that we got.
No, I called it at like 42, 43 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's 7 minutes in.
And Lahonen manages to finally win game 1 with a concession from Martin User. But the single Gideon of the Trials is the way for Lahonen to finally win when the game looked up. The thing is, like, we've seen this sort of deck in the past. We've seen Elspeth Sun's Champion. Mm-hmm. We've seen Elixir of Immortality working together. The thing is, like, the Elspeth killed really quickly.
Yeah.
Killed really, really, really quickly once it came down. But the single Gideon, I mean...
It kills just as fast.
I guess it kills just as fast, but...
It doesn't actually win when you don't have the combo. when you don't have when you have total control. Elspeth did quite that. Did quite that. You would play Elspeth, make 3 tokens, have it stick around for a little bit,
and stabilize,
and Wrath, and then start attacking.
And this was the thing. This is the key difference, I think, between these two decks is that anyone who played with the Elixir of Immortality Elspeth deck will know that Elspeth was a great play on turn 6 when you were behind.
Yep.
Gideon is not a great play on turn 6 when you're behind. Lock down 1 creature, yeah, sure, cool. Attack with the rest of the team. Like, I don't like the fact that the win condition in this deck does absolutely nothing else, essentially.
Save some life in the beginning.
Sure, but it just doesn't...
No, but the other win... There's another win con in this deck. Like, Gideon is not the only win condition. Teferi on its own is a win condition.
Yeah, if you're willing to sit down and play a game for 50 million years, yes.
But that's the win condition. That's what Elixir of Immortality was doing. You had no way to actually...
Okay, I'll frame this question differently, right?
Yes.
Why not play Torrential Gearhulk?
Because it's not necessary. Because the spells are probably not good enough. 6 mana counterspell is not what he wants to do. He wants to exile the creatures with Seal Away, with Cast Away.
Yeah, all right. There are a lot of enchantment.
He doesn't want a 6 mana spell that doesn't do anything when you only have 5 cards. He wants to have the option to cast away and negate and Essence Scatter on the same turn.
I guess a lot of the instant speed interaction that this deck plays is enchantment based with Seal Away and Cast Out, and then on top of that, the instant speed draw cards can't be cast with the Torrential Gearhulk.
No.
To pull from tomorrow doesn't work.
And another thing is, Torrential Gearhulk is a very soft target to any removal in the opponent's deck. So playing Torrential Gearhulk would enable Martin's disintegrations.
Which are otherwise blank pieces of cardboard.
Which is a very good point for Dio's deck. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, you sold me on it. There we go. So, Leela Honan rewarded for a canny deck building and pretty tight play so far at 11-1-1 at the GP. Martin User playing for a top in his 29th GP top 8 here. Lahonen does have a slightly transformational sideboard plan with 4 history of Benalia. What are you looking at here in Lahonen's sideboard, in addition to that, 2 Invoke the Divine, 3 Negate, 2 Sorcerer, Spyglass, Ether Meltdown, Authority, Fumigate, and another copy of Gideon? How are things changing post-board here for Lahonen?
I think he's adding a Meltdown. I don't think he goes for the aggro plan with Story of Benalia.
No. Class is not going to be in session?
I don't think so, no. No history. No history class.
Geography of Benalia, maybe?
Geography of Benalia? The Geography of Dominaria, maybe. That's the other class. That's the other thing. I don't think... as I said, I think it's a pretty good matchup, so I don't think he will commit too much sideboard cards. His removal are very good against Martin's creatures.
Yeah.
Black-red, historically, is not very good to... remove enchantments.
No, not at all.
As in very bad.
That is in very bad. Even the classic first pick draft card.
Haphazard Bombard. No, it doesn't
even destroy enchantments. So there's no real way for red-black decks to do it.
Back in the days, there was Nevinral Disc. That was the only card.
Oh, yeah, Nevinral Disc. Yeah, sure.
A classic card for black decks.
User now has an Argyl's Bloodfast. Here we go.
All right, that's the way to get some...
Bit of Sorcerer Spyglass for Lahonen here. Can have a look at user's hand, but oh no. Say it ain't so with the second Bloodfast in hand.
Yes, Spyglass is pretty good against Martin's deck. I don't know if Leo knows that Martin's not playing Karn, but it's still pretty good against the Heart of Kiran.
Yep.
Against the Bloodfast and against Chandra.
And Argyl's Bloodfast, I mean, he's gonna be hungry for a little bit longer here. It's not even Argyl's Blood slow. It's just Argyl's Blood stop.
But stop, yeah.
Doesn't work at all. So unfortunately there for user, his plan B has been pretty solidly undermined here. Although Pianalar is a decent follow-up play here for the Czech.
I guess the thing is now he's not fasting anymore, so he can eat as much as he wants.
Yeah, his fast has come to an end.
Yeah.
He can just head down the buffet, grab himself a cheeseburger.
All you can eat.
Sit himself down at Smorgies. Get a big plate full of jelly beans.
Do you know who Argyll is?
Argyll is one of the priests of the Dusk Legion,
Okay, good.
who returned to the fort at Adanto, and was rewarded for his devotion and I guess his penance with a fresh prisoner who had, I think, been caught thieving or maybe murdering.
All right. Gideon here. So we'll see how bad it is. I think he's doing a pretty good job at preserving his life.
Let's have a look at this duress now from Martin User, playing the duress from...
Oh, this one is from Urza Sega.
It's got the gears, little gears turning around.
Yeah, Urza Sega.
Yep.
First time duress came out.
First time it was printed.
First time printed.
Been a staple since then, of course.
September 98.
Just like its blue counterpart Negate, first printed in
Negate. Negate was in. I don't remember.
Morningtide.
Morningtide. Okay. I remember because the Urza Saga came out. Yeah, 25th of September. The pre-release was 25th of September 1998. Yeah, it's
Okay.
my birthday.
Was what?
My birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday.
17th birthday. Yeah.
Oh, your 17th birthday.
Yeah, it's always during the pre-release, and that on the Lightning Dragon.
I was 9.
Yeah, on the Lightning Dragon, that was my birthday on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, on many of the
That's
pre-release
pretty
cards,
sweet,
it's
dude.
my birthday.
Oh, yeah, because there's often the set around
Yeah.
that sort of time. Oh, well. Bloody joyeux anniversaire, mate.
Ah, merci beaucoup. It's not quite yet, but
Tricky decision here for Martin User.
seal away.
He's got a second duress in hand.
So what do you take here? Do you take the seal away and invoke the divine to allow your creatures to attack at some point?
So it's going to be the seal away first, and second duress maybe making an appearance here as well. See what he wants to do next. Certainly taking his time. I mean, maybe he's making up for that those quick turns that he had in the previous game,
Yeah.
where his turn was draw.
His
discard
clock,
to hand
his
size.
clock is still at 23 minutes. His personal clock.
Meandering River, 3 more mana here,
Yeah.
and we're going to see
Yep.
an Invoke the Divine on the Thopter, gain a little bit of life. Thea, pop that Pia in a bubble here. I love the dude in Invoke the Divine, how he's just absolutely like brazenly staring at the camera. He's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I'm going to destroy this artifact. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't stop me.
I expected Martin to actually take out the invoke the divine last turn instead of pumping the Thopter. Both cards are very annoying.
Another duress here for User. Looks like Lohanen has a seal away in addition to that commit to memory. Field of Ruin obviously not going to be able to be targeted. So let's see what he's after here.
With how many cards do you have? He has 1 or 2 cards. 2 cards. One of them is the
Is
his
blank
second copy of.
an actual blank in more ways than one.
Does he have any artifact removal? Do we have Martin's deck list somewhere? No, we don't. Does he run artifact removal?
So away goes the second seal away, and User now with a second copy of Pia Nalar. Going to make
3 mana, 1/1 flying.
That's not great.
That could be better.
A hand flooded with legendary permanents right now. And Gideon
And with
continues to keep Pia Nalar.
And the
on lock.
commit on the token would be pretty.
Yeah, this is going to suck.
Yeah. Yeah, just in case attacking with this guy.
So attacking with Pia Nalar.
Okay,
Pump
then
up the
commit.
token.
Yep.
And it's going
But
to be committed.
he's stepping out, and Martin with his Glory Bringer draw could open a window. That could open a window for him to play it and attack Gideon for 4.
Irrigated farmland cycled away here for Lonan. Gideon up to 5. Keeps Pia
Land untapped, sorry.
untapped land.
Untapped land, yeah.
One time. Martin User. Needs that 5th land. Casts a big dragon. I would imagine probably doesn't have it. As he probably would have cast it. Nope. All right. Cycle the Canyon Slough.
I called the land, and I called untapped a little too late.
A little too late, yep. Alexis was just like, did you mean tapped land? And then you asked for the untapped land, and you got it off the top of the library is there with a Spire of Industry. And now, user.
Oh, there's another option he can do.
Okay.
Can we have the Bloodfest?
Here's another Sorcerer Spyglass now. That's rough.
Can we have the text of the?
So Argul's Bloodfast says, pay 2 life,
Yep.
draw a card, and then can flip it if it has 5 or less life. And the Temple of Akhlazots says you can sacrifice a creature, gain life equal to its toughness.
All right. So what I was thinking is, if Martin ever gets an artifact in play, he can burn himself with a Spire of Industry to flip the Bloodfest and actually do something with it. Have just another land.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's just something you can do.
It's pretty deep. Yep. And here is Glorybringer.
Here we go.
And Gideon, wow, knocked down to 2 here. That's a big turn. Lahonen without an answer to the 4/4. He's going to need to find something here. Going to keep that Glorybringer on lock, but that means Pia's ready to chuck some punches about. Get on the 1s and 2s here. And Gideon now under siege. Unsure as to what that second Spyglass is naming. We'll gain confirmation of the of what the card is naming there.
Heart of Kirin, I think.
Looks like it might be there.
There's a second Gideon in hand. I think it is.
Scrap Heap Scrounge to the play. And we're going to see a Field of Ruin on the Spire of Industry. And just confirming, yes, Heart of Kirin, the call for the second Spyglass.
So Leo drawing just second Gideon, not too good here. Not too much action. No Teferi to get off in this game. To go off in this game. Like to draw cards. No drawing engine.
No draw engine.
No Fumigate.
And now, with his Field of Ruin having resolved. Was Lahonen really worried about Spire of Industry? What was going on there?
I don't know.
Back to Lahonen now. Upstairs with the Gideon. And going to bubble that Scrounger. No, it's going to be the Pianala. That indicates that he has some kind of removal for the Glorybringer here.
Maybe seal away. So the other thing that with my plan has a few flaws. I'm not gonna lie, because if he goes down too low, then Leo can attack with Gideon. But having the Bloodfest flipped would be able to sacrifice the Scroungers to prevent them from being cast away.
Sure, but wouldn't user just rather be at 20 life? Does he really want another non-basic swamp?
No, to use the second ability to sacrifice a creature.
But just to gain life back up to 20?
To protect his creatures from cast away.
Ah, I see. Okay, that's the kicker.
Like the Scrounger, or I don't think he kept the Phoenixes, but for exactly this situation, like if he could sacrifice a Scrounger in response,
which is we actually might see something like that happen here. We're going to see an artifact sacrifice to penalize.
Oh well, there's Pia as well, but like later in the game, if Pia is not around, if he has the land untapped, then it might be relevant.
And a Chandra Torture Defiance as well here for user, who takes the opportunity here, but unfortunately is met with a negate from Lahonen. So tidy play there from user, not exposing his team to settle the wreckage. And unfortunately for him, a negate dealing with his Planeswalker threat would have been huge had it resolved. Gideon of the Trials, keeping that Pia Nala on lock. Which again says that he may have some kind of answer to the 4/4 getting busy here.
That's a settle the wreckage.
Let's have a look here. In comes the Glorybringer, and it is a settle the wreckage, so user will go and get a land here from that Glorybringer. Finds a mountain. Very expensive path to exile that one, but hey, got the job done.
So next turn, when the Scrounger comes back, if Leo does not draw an answer to Pia or the Scrounger, Gideon will die. Because Leo will be able to pump the Scrounger with his PNLR.
Gideon upstairs to 4. Pia bubbled away, but Scrap Heap Scrounger, as you said, exiling the second Pia in the bin. And as an artifact, yes, the Scrounger can be pumped up by the Pia. Let's see what's next here with Martin User. 3 mana, and it's another Glory Bringer here. 5 mana, I should say. Meets an Essence Scatter. In comes the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Pump, pump.
Yep. Yeah, dead Gideon.
Gideon down.
As planned.
Very, very tidy maneuvering here from Martin User as he manages to deal with the Planeswalker threat. But there's a second one coming right back down for Lahonen.
It's looking pretty good for Martin here to come back from this in this game.
Looks like no cards in hand for Lahonen at least.
So if Martin kept a Braid in his deck, or if he has a Braid in his deck, then that will also free his Bloodfast. And he would actually be able to draw and get this game out of control for Leo. User
able to rebuy at least one of those Scroungers should they hit the bin thanks to the Glory Bringer in there. Another Field of Ruin now for Lahonen. 6 mana. And we're going to see Commit to Memory here. I don't, man, this is risky stuff because this means
I like it. I like it. He has nothing.
He has nothing. I understand that, but User is going to be the first now to untap with 7 fresh cards.
But he was so far behind. I like it.
So needs must, huh?
I like it.
All right. Well, here we go. Time Twister. So shuffle cards, shuffle library and graveyard and hand together. And both players draw 7 freshies here.
That was on the actual card played, but that's the same effect. From
Time Twister effect from memory. Cost 6, makes it a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah,
you would say, because of course the upside to drawing a fresh hand of 7 cards is then being able to deploy them immediately, and Lahonen cannot do that with only 2 mana up. He's not going to be able to dump his hand on the battlefield. User, on the other hand, is going to untap with 7 mana, 8 mana. It's going to be a good spot here. See what he can find.
Yeah, overall, I think does give the advantage to Leo, even though he's passing the turn with.
You think
his opponent at 7
right back in it?
Yeah, like without this, he was not in this game, or not anymore.
Well, let's see what User can put together now. Striking while the iron is hot. He's got another Walking Ballista in hand. Attacks. Oop, nope. Yeah. All right. Hang fire.
He needs to send at least 2. If like the best draw from Martin would be Duress to make to know exactly what's in Leo's hand.
Not sending with one of the Scrap Heap Scroungers there.
No, but this one is locked.
So a seal away
on one of them.
And looks like User is going to have a response.
He's going to sacrifice it. Yeah.
Sacrifice it to the PNLR there. For no value, but still make sure the Scrounger is in the bin.
For a little value. To have it in the bin.
Let's see what User's next step is. For my next trick, he says. Come, feast your eyes. Got a lot of mana. See what he wants to use it for here.
And here's where Settle the Wreckage is put to very good use.
And it's just going to be a massive Ballista here. A Ballista for 4. Pings Gideon down.
Because even though he gave 7 new cards to Martin, he has a way to remove, to exile, more than 1 creature with 1 card. So, and since he's still on 24 life, it's going to take a couple turns for Martin to attack that life total. It's pretty high life total. And if he draws a pull from tomorrow, that would totally turn the game around.
Going to find those cards he needs to lock it up, huh? Well, User now with 2 mana.
Yeah,
What's up next here?
I don't think he kept a Braid in this deck. Because this is too narrow.
Yeah,
a Braid only for Spyglass.
No other targets.
It's a little bad.
Yep. He's not expecting Torrential Gearhogs here. Canyon Slough cycled away. And now User, having fought through 2 copies of Gideon of the Trials. We can see very slightly what's in London's hand there. Left-hand side of your
There's
screen.
a settle. There's a settle the wreckage.
There's a settle. Oh, yeah.
Into the blink of an eye.
Well, it's going to take this hit at least. Take 5 down to 19.
Yeah.
And the Walking Ballista is staying back. Obviously, User not looking to expose it to a settle the wreckage. Here comes Cast Out back from this blink of an eye. Draw
nice
a card.
play here. I think he's going to take out PNLR.
Here's the Cast Out.
Oh,
It's going to be Walking Ballista.
Oh, the Ballista.
It's going to cost him 3 life, perhaps even more, yeah. Put a counter on it, up to 4. And 4 damage upstairs, presumably.
Or maybe 5. Could be 5. What does he have with the extra? Oh, I see. He wants to keep the mana to sacrifice the Scrounger.
Yeah. And we will see the other Scrounger come back from the bin this turn as well from User here.
I like the way Leo plays this game. Very, very tight plays so far.
Cycle the Irrigated Farmland. Well, that's good stuff from Lohonen. Doing White-Blue Mages proud around the world. And Walking Ballista exile to bring back the Scrap Heap Scrounger.
The reason when I said he could have targeted Pia last turn was to be able to sell the wreckage efficiently this turn. Because now, if he plays his Settle the Wreckage, he will only put the Scroungers in the graveyard because Pia will sacrifice them.
Sacrifice them both, that's right. They'll be able to come back for another round. Another tilt at the windmill here soon enough.
Oh, he took it. All right.
3 mana, and it's a Goblin Chain Whirler now. Lohonen down to 6. Wow, playing fast and loose with his life total here, Rav.
I like it.
He's got a Disallow in hand as well. Here's a Chandra.
This
Cannot
resolve.
This one's going to eat the Disallow. All right.
This cannot resolve.
I like the way User's playing it as well, trying to bait out those counter spells, but Lohonen does not rise to the bait. On 6 here. Has to turn the corner and
He has a Fumigate, I think.
stamp his authority on this game. Field of Ruin on the Spire of Industry. Again, I don't hugely understand the need for him to do that. Doesn't seem to really affect things too much at all.
Just in case it's a blue splash. Or to keep him from actually losing the life. Like, see my plan. I don't think that went through Martin's mind, but that could be.
So User still on 20. Lohonen on 6. And it's 5 mana now from Lohonen. Are we going to see Teferi? No, it's a Fumigate.
No, Fumigate, yeah.
All right. In response, sacrifice the 2 Scrap Heap Scroungers. All right. Doesn't seem to really do anything.
Yeah, it does.
Prevents him
No,
from
Leo
gaining
doesn't gain the life.
Yeah, sure. All right. Doesn't make too much of a difference to the outcome, though, well, because the board will still be clear. Just a little bit less life gained by Lohonen there. And now we will see User, well, he's only going to activate that once because he wants that 4 mana available to bring back the Scroungers at the end of turn. He's going to do exactly that. So Scrounger number 1
But
and
no,
2.
Pia is not around to sacrifice them, so Sell the Wreckage is gonna do a lot of work.
Yeah, it's going to wreck him here. Exactly what the card says it should to be doing.
So what are you doing? Did you just attack with 1 Scrounger? That's. You just hope he doesn't have it, but he does. Like 2 little exile piles there.
2 more basics for Martin. User has had a rough go of things so far. Lohonen up to 9. And User with that, all the basics you can imagine in the world. Look at these. I think he's got how many more
Another
lands does he have
whirler.
left in his library? Here's a chair whirler. Chucking those chairs about.
These guys in the
correct
exile pile.
zone. There were 2 exile zones just now. And User has to ship. Wow. How many cards he got in hand?
I don't think he has anything left. That he gave it his best.
Gave it his all.
Yeah. And that's where things go down.
Well, unfortunately for Martin User,
And Gideon as well.
he tried so hard and got so far, but in the end,
Doesn't even matter.
doesn't even matter because now double Planeswalkers for Leo Lahan and Lunan, who is drawing very close now to a top 8 appearance. A duress here from User.
You would
But,
still need to win the next round.
Things are going through.
Well, actually, no. Actually, it's a win and in. Isn't it?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. And
Getting
Invoke
3
the
life.
Divine. Gain a bit of life. And the duress reveals a lonely Field of Ruin, and User got to be close to packing him up.
Yeah.
What's this?
The last
Big Ballista.
Yeah, last Ballista. Is it for 8? No, he's on 11. So that could work.
Okay.
That's the last 6, 12, 11?
It's on 6. Oh,
no, not on 16. Can't be on 16. He doesn't have 32 mana.
No. He's on 7. It was
Yeah.
on 1 and 6.
All right.
So a tricky decision now.
Oh yeah, that could be good.
Oh.
That could work.
Is this going to be enough for User here? At the death?
Leo is on 11. He's not on 8. I think. Yeah, he's on 11.
Oh, thanks to the
it's an Invoke the Divine, yeah.
All right.
So we should have that fixed at some point. So is that a pull from tomorrow?
We will get those life totals checked there to make sure that they're accurately
Oh,
reflecting
wow,
what's going on
that's-
here. And oh, gee, okay. All right.
Martin must be like,
Just the big sweats here for Martin User.
so he can still not win next. Oh wow. All right.
Field of Ruin now.
He found a way to deal with the
Blink of an eye. Recasting the cast out now on the walking
The Ballista,
2
yeah.
damage to the Gideon.
So now Martin needs to draw another Ballista. Leo is on 11. There's just some technical difficulties on the score.
Glory Ringer takes care
From
of
the
the
score
Gideon.
people.
And Martin User is going down swinging
Okay, here we go. 12. All right. I thought it was 11, but I guess it's 12.
No, he gained 4 from the Invoke the Divine when he was on 8. Here is a Chandra Torch Defiance.
All right.
So what's next now for Lahonan, who has a negate, yes, to deal with that Chandra Torch Defiance. In they come, but settle the wreckage again here for User to contend with. He can't have that many more basics left in his library.
Right, he got 4 life from Invoke Divine, not 3. So now is he going to strip mine the black mana?
Oh, dear.
Psh. Still the Spire.
Still the Spire.
He could have taken care of all the black mana.
Yeah?
And without any artifacts in play, Martin would not have been able to cast his duress and stuff.
Well, as it goes now, User got a tiny little library left. It's not going too well for the Czech superstar here, as Lahonan continues to turn the screws, ships the turn. He needs to find a way to win the game, however. Here's a scrounger for User. Once again, creatures exiled to settle the wreckage. I think Lahonan's having a quick look to see how many creatures are in the graveyard there. We didn't get a good look at how many there are.
Ballista, I think this is just one.
Just the Walking Ballista.
Yeah.
1 card for User. And Lana with a nice full grip draws another card and ships. Didn't even look at his card. Doesn't need to. In for 3. And another settle the wreckage. Would you believe it?
Yeah, why would you want Torrential Gearhulk when you sell the wreckage every turn?
Yeah. Yeah, who needs it? And User, nope, no more mountains. Got most of the lands in his deck are on the field right now.
So the way Martin can actually win is by decking his opponent. If the Teferis are too low. Oh no, that wouldn't even work. That wouldn't even work. No.
In his library, no. Teferi is.
But if he's able to kill Teferi, that could work.
He's
No, he
out
would
of
never
here.
be able to kill Teferi. There's no Rascaz contempt.
No.
And,
And the Phoenix is
Yep.
going to eat a disallow here. So Lahonan well and truly in control of this match.
Oh, well.
And another pull from tomorrow here. Is this going to be enough for User to pack him up? Nope. Fight till the bitter end, he says. So draw a bunch of cards. Going to have to discard one of them here.
So if one card was if 2 cards were too much for Martin to overcome, I don't think 12 is gonna be any easier.
So user has a look at what's going on in London's library. We see that commit to memory. It's already been cast, and I guess as you said, Raph, that was the point at which the game broke bad for Martin user. Lahanan reloaded and was able to weather the storm, and oh my goodness, poor old Martin here. Look at his face, not a happy chappy. Here's a Teferi. Goes up, draws a card, untaps 2 lands. And Lahanan now just going through the motions here.
Going to discard.
Needs to untap those 2 lands. Okay, well, he seems to have missed that.
Yeah, at this point, not too relevant.
And how relevant it is going to be here.
Oh no, which one should I use? This one.
And an Essence Scatter.
I should just let them choose. You just put 5 cards in front of them, like, look, which one you want. Choose your fate.
Just rub that in. He's got a negate in hand. He's got another Planeswalker in hand as well. He's got all the tools he needs to wrap this one up. Essence Scatter off the top as well. So this is just an absolute total evisceration of Martin Hughes here. Unfortunately for him, Leo Lahanan has just gone from strength to strength after a shaky start. He's pulled it together, and now, as you can see, Martin Hughes are fighting to the bitter end, but I don't think he's ever going to have another spell resolve should Lahanan not want it to happen. Take 1.
Fine.
Teferi down to 5. Lahanan down to 11. And of course now Lahanan replete with answers to the 3/3 here. Another Teferi off the top. Might even discard it. Doesn't need it. Doesn't want it.
No, he can fumigate here, just not to discard.
It's going to be cast out
away.
instead.
Cast out.
So crew the Heart of Kieran in response. That does not work.
Cannot.
Does not work thanks to the Sorcerer's Spyglass. And discard the Teferi.
He has another one as well. Oh, he's
drawn a Walking Ballista. Is there any way user can get this Ballista into play?
Which one is it? Oh, But he would need 22 lands. I don't think he even has a 22 lands.
He's got 19. Ether Meltdown on the Heart of Kieran, just so as to avoid discarding. And user ships. 2 Ballistas would do it over 2 turns if they could resolve, but Lahanan is sitting behind a wall of counter magic. Another disallow now in addition to that Essence Scatter here.
And pull from tomorrow.
And as the clock ticks down on this round...
discard pull from tomorrow, of course. He cannot draw any more cards.
Doesn't need to, mate.
Chandra.
The Chandra now for Lahanan. It's going to eat up a disallow from the control player. And user here is fighting a noble fight, but just doesn't look like he's got anything left to say about the match here because Lahanan is in full control.
Even if Martin had 22 lands, Leo could still gain 4 life off his Invoke the Divine.
Just blow up one of his own enchantments or the Heart of Kieran or something.
Yeah.
So here's the Walking Ballista, and it's going to meet an Essence Scatter. Use it with a second Walking Ballista. And there are so many ways for Lahanan to prevent this card from having any kind of an impact here. So Walking Ballista for 4. But Lahanan, as we said,
I see
has
Martin
it locked up.
I see Martin's plan here is to keep Teferi from... if it's Leo's last Teferi, he could eventually try to keep him from blinking. If it was 6, for example, if it dealt 6 damage.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just... All right.
So invoke the Divine in response to the first activation of the Walking Ballista. And use 1 damage going at Teferi.
Yeah, because if there's another Ballista in...
and the rest of it as well. So Teferi down to 5? Surely that should be 4. Yes, There we go.
Is there another cast out in Leo's hand?
Back to Lahanan now. I think he does have another copy of cast out in addition to a seal away. So Teferi goes on the bottom of the library. Lahanan has 2 cards left in hand, so here we're going to see this loop now.
In 40 seconds, I don't think Martin can actually win this game.
Is there any way here for Martin User to disrupt this loop that Lanen has set up? Now, what's happening here?
The only way he could do it would be to have Walking Ballista active on Leo's turn. So, for example, Leo would play Teferi. He would target his own Teferi with Ballista, and Martin would kill Teferi in response. So Teferi would not go back to the deck.
Now, obviously, the plan here for any Teferi player would be to already have an ultimate, right? So they could start exiling all the permanents of User. Now, Lanen doesn't have that. He has one card.
Oh, well,
he's got two. Okay, he's got two.
Just two Teferis. So now Martin would need. Like, he would need a lot. If we need every card in his deck to be Ballista.
So essentially, now what will happen is Lanen will play a Teferi, minus the Teferi target against self, every turn.
Doomfall. All right.
Doomfall for Martin User.
Taking the cast out.
So seal away, fumigate, cast out.
Seal away doesn't do anything.
User needs 2 answers to the 2 Teferis here, which have established. You don't even need 2, by the way.
No, he needs 1 Ballista.
1 Ballista?
Yeah, because he doesn't need to lose his Ballista. He just needs to kill Teferi and keep his Ballista in play.
Okay.
So he would need just 1 Ballista would actually be good.
Well, a Chain Whirler now for User. Lanen is going to do the same thing he did. Pop a Teferi on the bottom of his library. And usually you only need 1 to complete this loop.
Actually, Martin would have won this game had he played a little faster.
This is the last turn for Martin User, who ships. Lanen draws, plays Teferi, puts it on the bottom of his library there.
Yeah, because he only has 3 removals.
And unfortunately for fans of the Czech superstar, Martin User has gone down to Lanen because, of course, Lanen won the first game. So, Raf, very quickly, talk us through how that would have changed had we had a couple of extra minutes.
I think Martin would have won that game because there was only 1 Fumigate and 2 Sealer Ways in Leo's hand as ways to deal with threats.
Okay.
So if Martin had, let's say, 4 threat left in his deck, he would have the first one have been dealt with Sealer Way. Seal away.
Yeah.
The last one by Fumigate.
Yeah.
And the last one have gone all the way.
Because Teferi has to keep looping.
Has to keep looping. Like, Leo does not have any other choice.
Yeah.
So the 6-7 minutes that Martin took to
not concede
concede game 1.
Oh, geez, come back to bite him. But that's the way it goes there. White-blue control back on top here. And, well, I tell you what, Leo Lanen's done very well. And he's looking good for top 8. Martin User, of course, still another bite of the cherry for him. He'll have another chance next round for a little win and in here as we head towards the top 8. We're going to take a break, my friends. The top 8 is coming your way after round number 15, which will be taken care of by Tim and Simon. You're not going to want to miss a moment of it, so stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
The game I fell in love with, I want people to experience in many different possible ways. And one of the things that I want to see is it expressed itself in a modern sensibility, in the way that people are playing now. And that part of that is going digital. Like, I love tabletop, and we'll continue to make a tabletop game, but we really want to bring out the best experience, the magic experience, the electrifying thing that made me fall in love with the game. We want to have people play that in a digital form.
Up your game with Ultra Pro Magic the Gathering accessories. Find the best Magic art on card sleeves, deck boxes, playmats, and more. Visit ultrapro.com to learn more and find a retailer near you.
Welcome back to the tournament floor here at GP Birmingham. My name's Riley. I'm joined by Raf, and we are going to get underway with some Time Walk magic to tide us over through to round number 15. We did have a prolonged judge call during the previous round, so that gives us a couple of extra minutes to check in with some of the other matches that went on in the feature match area, so let's get to it. We'll be having a look at some of the other standard lists. Of course, we saw Blue-White Control just now, Raf, and
great.
we talked about this list heading into the round just now. But I mean, has your perspective on the deck changed at all in the last couple of minutes as we've seen it do its thing on Blue-White Control?
I don't know. It seems great.
Seems great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what
Pretty
else
good.
what happened on the other tables here with our Time Walk magic. Let's get to it. We're going to go to the final game of this match here. Luke Southworth, I should say, and Mario Rodenas Lopez. We've seen both of these players in the feature match area earlier on today, Raf. Black-Red Vehicles, a deck that's pretty high in your estimation, and Mono Black Control, we've seen it do good work in previous rounds as well. Both these players are, of course, playing to stay alive for top 8. And a duress from Southworth early on is going to be decent against any deck that fancies itself as a control list. Snap Khan?
Depending on Luke's hand, but it looks like it.
So, a couple of swamps, Fatal Push. Walking Ballista, Vraska's Contempt here. The options for the Englishman, Luke Southworth. I don't know why that's so difficult to say. Southworth. And he's having a good old think about what he wants to do here. Talk to us about this vehicles deck, Raf. Very aggressive.
It might be a little different from Martin's deck, though. Because Martin chose to not play the 1 toughness creatures, while most Black-Red vehicle decks play Bomat Couriers. It's just full of very good stuff. It's Goblin Chairwheeler.
Goblin Chairwheeler.
That usually kills a few creatures. Well, not in this case.
Not in this case. Lopez doesn't have a huge number of creatures to hustle and bustle with, although now we're going to see a duress from him. Immediately discarding the Khan. Foil Khan as well. Nice one there from old Lukey.
Pretty good. Goblin Siege Gang Commander.
And the Siege Gang Commander joining a couple of mismatched mountains there.
From Scourge. First time it was printed.
Yeah, Scourge.
Scourge.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Certainly been around the world a couple of times or maybe more, Siege Gang Commander. Seen him reprinted many, many times indeed. Stone Cold Bomb in Limited. And here is a follow-up Walking Ballista. We're going to kick this into higher gear now as we head towards pairings for round number 15. Heart of Kieran, nice rip here for Luke Southworth. Avoiding the duress previously. And it's going to be a hard card for Mario Rodenas Lopez to answer.
Can I have a Fatal Push?
I guess so. Does have one in hand.
So not too hard then.
But the Chain Whirler here is doing some good work. 3/3 first strike, quite difficult to block. Southworth does know about that Fatal Push. Maybe reluctant to send the heart into it.
He also knows about Vraska's Contempt.
5 mana, Siege Gang Commander. Nice play against both of those cards, of course. And we're going to see the Heart of Kieran sent in. And look at this. Big attack for 7 now. And Lopez tapped out for that Ballista. Doesn't have an answer.
Yeah, 3/3 first striker is pretty tough to block for these Ballistas. It's going to be even harder to block with mana open if Mario decides not to kill Siege Commander.
Southworth getting to untap with that old SGC there would be huge here because, of course, all of those gobbos can go wherever he wants, essentially. Lopez.
Yep. So no more Siege Gang.
Chump block and 2 damage to the Siege Gang here. But the damage has been done. Big attack in the air with the Heart of Kieran. And the Goblins here coming across as well next turn, you would imagine. Here's a duress. Away goes Doomfall from Luke Southworth. And back to the Englishman here on home soil. What can he find? Having a good old think about it here.
It's only 3 mana open. Mario cannot pump his Ballista to a 2/2. Oh, wow. To a 2/2. And then he would die to a Goblin Chairwheeler. So that was
Rough.
He read my mind.
Rough stuff here as one of the Goblins goes down. But Luke Southworth playing Goblin Tribal by the look of things here.
So Fatal Push is operational to kill a Chairwheeler.
Just look at this here.
Oh, he has 2 of them.
2 Fatal Pushes.
All right. That's the reason why he attacked with both creatures, because he knew about Fatal Push, and he would take down either the 3/3 or the vehicle.
Now, Ubuntu's Last Reckoning means that Luke Southworth's in a great position to resolve and really take the advantage of Angrath. The Flame Chained gets 2 more or less free activations now, and a Scrap Heap Scrounger comes down as well. Lopez in a world of pain as Angrath. Unbelievable stuff with a lightning fast finish there for Luke Southworth. He did incredibly well, and I like the way he maneuvered that. Found a time to put the Planeswalker down at the time where it was going to have the biggest impact there, Raph.
Yeah, Angrath, the Planeswalker, we haven't seen very much as of the last, I don't know, couple months since he came out.
Since came out, essentially,
Since
yeah.
Ever. I don't think Angrath
it's
was
the most work we've ever seen to do.
Yeah, it's also pretty good against mono green.
Hmm?
I mean, taking this. Can you? It's not a threaten, right?
It's threaten and then sacrifice
Yeah.
if it's a certain mana cost.
Yeah. Well, yeah, threaten 12/12.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty
good,
scary
yeah.
card. Anyway, that's all she wrote for this round, my friends. We're going to jump out of the booth and you'll be joined by Simon and Tim. So stick around. We'll see you back here at GP Birmingham after this.